Welcome to the show, everybody. While I'm getting situated here, happy Tuesday. Wow. I mean, things can really go from 0 to 100 in crypto fast, right? And we were just in extreme fear not too long ago, 2 weeks ago. Today was a legendary day, guys. We had the Solana ETF go live. Um, wow. I mean, it's just crazy because people are talking about how we're not going to get an altcoin season and that potentially we're in a bear market. And I'm just telling you, I've been giving the same macro analysis all month, even in the extreme fear conditions, because there are so many bullish macro factors happening right now behind the scenes. So this is just like, it's an epic day. It's like, this is a legendary thing that's happened. HBAR as well. We're going to get into that. So this is really, really good news for the crypto market, and it feels as though a bullish narrative is starting to brew again, and people are starting to get renewed optimism and faith in these markets. But the thing is that we've seen that writing on the wall since a long time ago, and we've known this is coming, and we've been waiting for this day, and it's finally here. And it's really exciting, and I have some really interesting news to report on the stats of those ETFs and their success. Also, we're going to go over the higher timeframes for the high timeframes for Solana today, and we're going to dig into some other altcoin setups. But we're gonna show you guys, give you a look under the hood as to what is happening right now and why I believe that we're just on the verge of an epic, massive move, right? Based on the macro factors. Rob, our lead analyst, leverage and spot, is going to take you on a deep dive into the charts and let you see what exactly is happening there. But we must get into this news because it is just so exciting. We've been waiting for so long for this to happen. And can you believe, last cycle, I said this on the last show, but we were just this like very small crypto bubble, like 200 million users or something like that. And, no Wall Street. We were like in our adolescent phase of Bitcoin and crypto, right? And now suddenly we're plugged into Wall Street. We have ETFs that can receive institutional liquidity for altcoins. The first ever spot ETFs for altcoins that aren't Ethereum. It's a big day. It's a big day in crypto, and things are not ever going to be the same after this, because now it's starting to become a real industry. And I don't know if you understand what I mean when I say, like, to the outside world, we're being legitimized, right? So it's a really exciting thing indeed. I am going to share my screen now because I want to go over all the news while we're waiting for everybody to populate. But Algama, shout out to you, Raw Food Writer. What's up? Welcome to the chat. Guys, we're going to have a hell of a Tuesday. It's going to be amazing. I'm just super excited. So I'm going to share my screen and jump right into this because there's a lot to unpack about what's going on. So let's just go right into it. Let me go ahead and make my screen big here. So I was just looking at the Solana page just because there's so much big news. But other news is that payments, remittances, and treasuries belong on-chain on Solana. The system is finally upgrading. Western Union, the world's largest money transfer business, is building exclusively on Solana. Sol for the win, guys. Sol for the win. I never fade Sol or ETH because they both have a very important part and role in this industry, right? And this is just amazing to see. This is massive. Do you know how much liquidity will be coming into this as a result of this? So basically, they built a stable coin on Solana. Western Union to launch stable coins on Solana. That is so big. It's the biggest money market in the world. I don't think it's possible that this is priced in yet because it's hard to grasp and it's hard to fathom how much liquidity and volume this could bring to Solana, right? So that's really, really big news. And the stock market, everything is up today. Let me just take through some of the news because there's so much going on, so much to unpack. So let's start off here. Trump says that Fed Jerome Powell will be out in a few months. So bullish macro news, right? We're right to that stance number 10 or playbook number 10 in the Kubisi letter playbook that I talk about a lot, where we're about to announce a trade deal potentially with China as early as Thursday. So let's see how that goes. But I could see this just like a snowball effect, right? It's just gaining and gaining traction until boom, it just causes a massive avalanche, right? I don't know about that analogy, but you guys get my point. I'm just really excited. President Trump says Japan is investing $550 billion into the United States. there is a lot to unpack here too, and I'm going to go there in just a second. So $2 trillion Japanese payments processor TIS to launch blockchain-based platform for stablecoins. Stablecoins are all the rage. And as Kathy Wood, ARK Invest Big Ideas report put out this year, stablecoin volume, now not transactions, but volume was bigger than Visa, right? And MasterCard this past year. So there's huge appetite for stablecoins. Apple becomes the third biggest company in history to reach a $4 trillion market cap. It doesn't look like we're in a bear market as it stands. No, not indeed. And I just keep sticking to that theory of, what if this is going to be one of the biggest booms in human history, right? I don't rule out corrections, and I never talk in absolutes. But again, those 5 powerful technologies converging to make us the most productive people that we've ever been in human history, and to elevate our life on Earth and humanity, because we won't have to be stuck in those mundane tasks anymore. They will be automated by AI. And so it's going to be an interesting world and an exciting world. There's 98% chance the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates by 25 basis points tomorrow, according to Polymarket. So it seems like that is being priced in by the markets. But all the other stuff, I'm not so sure. Microsoft announces it now holds a 27% stake in OpenAI, which is huge. And Nvidia just keeps going, guys. It just keeps going. It's crushing it. I mean, check this out. So this is also a thing. Nvidia announces a partnership with Palantir, but then Jim Cramer comes out and says that these are 2 of the greatest stocks of all time. Will that be the Jim Cramer inverse signal curse? I don't know. But Nvidia is smashing through. It's just reaching new all-time high after new all-time high, doing phenomenally. And the crypto prediction platform Polymarket to launch in the US in the coming weeks. All right, so we're getting poly prediction markets back to the US. That is really, really exciting news. I think we're on the verge of getting an announcement about Binance as well, because CZ just got pardoned, and I think that's part of the greater plan. So I'll go there in a minute, because I saw some people were commenting on yesterday's show about my thesis about the master plan that's happening and cooking in the background. And here's another thing. President Trump says he is 100% open to going to North Korea. So I said this on yesterday's stream, and 34% chance it happens, according to this poll or this prediction, right? So I think that it's crazy, guys. It's crazy. But let's dig into HBAR as well. Today, HBAR makes history and becomes the 3rd ever crypto ETF to launch after Bitcoin and Ethereum. To make this clear, out of 19 million plus cryptocurrencies that CoinMarket tracks, it was the Canary Fund's HBAR ETF that passed, citing Hedera's institutional grade network. I've actually said those words on this show before, because I met the team in Davos at the World Economic Forum this past January. And I told you guys, I've been telling you all year, ever since then, I've been super bullish, because I got to see firsthand what they're doing on the ground with their CFO, right, who's in charge of finances, who told me their plans. And I have, a big foundational pillar of my portfolio now in HBAR, in Hedera, and I think they're going to do great things. So SOL has more ETF filings than any other crypto since 2024, with a total of 23. Institutions want Solana, and it's a spot ETF with staking. So this is the crazy thing, right? Like, now institutions can get yield. That is what they dream of. First SOL ETF confirmed. Do you know how bullish that is? The next few months are going to be legendary. Strap in, SOL season, we're back. Yeah, and that's why you don't fade these, because Solana has a massive ecosystem, right? But yet Ethereum is sort of like the backbone of the finance for Web3, right? Like for the 3rd layer of the internet. So they both play very important roles. And now Solana has actually solidified its place in the more serious ecosystem, right, which is Western Union making stablecoins on top of Solana. We just made history today, and so it's an exciting day indeed. So we're going to give you some setups on Solana, but I want to go back first to a little bit about my theory about President Trump and what he's doing right now in the world, because he's sort of silently asserting power, and it's like a scheme on the back end, right? He's in Venezuela, and somebody commented this on YouTube, and I said, no, he's staging this as the U.S. sort of bombing drug dealers and cartels and things like that, saying that it kills X amount of Americans every year, which could be true, but in the background, There's oil, there's so many resources that probably he wants to partake in. And plus Maduro, who is the dictator, has not been good for the country, and he's not popular with the people. And so he's taking advantage to do all this while Russia is sort of, preoccupied with Ukraine. And it just kind of makes sense to me. So then now he's talking about restoring relationships with other tense relations we have in the world. And just this guy, is most of his net worth is in crypto. So I can't imagine, I've always said this, I can't imagine that we're not going to get a bullish environment, or that he's not going to do everything humanly possible to get that, to make crypto thrive, because that essentially is going to be his legacy as a president, right? So all of these macro bullish factors, and now the ETFs and potentially trade deal, more rate cuts this week, all point to we are going to absolutely boom, in my opinion, right? And I'm playing it that way. I want to be ready. I want to be prepared. So, Crickra, what's up? Hit that like button. I like that. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, smash the like button. We're going to have a really great show today, as always. And it's Halloween week. So we've got a few offers still on the table until October 31st, which is Halloween. So yeah, I'm going to go over that in a minute. Are you hearing anything about an XRP ETF? I've not confirmed anything about XRP going live as of right now, but of course, right, that seems to be like it's the next one in line. I'm surprised that it wasn't before the others, but yes, this is massive. I just can't express how bullish that I am, because this is what we've all been waiting for. Now it's happened. HBAR did do a massive move up, which Rob caught, by the way, in the Hive, and posted a chart about it, I believe, in the Hive, right? So HBAR had a nice, solid, massive move up. We haven't seen anything yet. We are not too late. And I do believe it's time to get positioned. And so fireworks, guys, that's what I see. I see fireworks on the horizon. And I think it's going to be a massively bullish time for crypto here coming up pretty soon, because of all of this. The uncertainty in the world is starting to calm down. It seems, right? And let's see what happens. But it's going to be a very, very bullish time indeed. I do believe so. So here's some stats on the ETFs for you. Bitwise Solana staking ETF debuts on the New York Stock Exchange amid U.S. government shutdown. So that didn't slow this down. It still got approved, which is very, very cool. And Eric Balkunas, who's our main ETF reporter, I know you guys have been seeing him throughout this whole period when we've been tracking the Bitcoin ETF and the ETH ETF. Eric Balkunas reports early trading volumes for new spot ETFs. SOL hits 33 million, HBAR 6 million, and Litecoin 1 million. Amazing. Really amazing. Like we're getting started. We're now like out there in the world, plugged into Wall Street. That is big news. And I don't know if you guys, I don't think people understand the magnitude of that. So I'm gonna ease up on the news for right now. I'm gonna just call Rob up here, and we're gonna start digging into the charts, guys. Let's see where we're at. Rob, how you doing?
Pretty good. We just timed that one perfect. I just got my kids inside off the bus.
Okay. Well, good stuff, man. How exciting is this?
I'm very excited. I mean, very big news. A lot of time I go very opposite of the news. Usually I'm like, sell the news, buy the rumor, sell the news. But you know what? Bitcoin ETF boosted Bitcoin like crazy. So I'm not going with buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing. I'm just playing the charts as I see them more than anything, because the charts are going to tell you how to trade. And so,
exactly.
And right now, I'm bullish.
We'll go and look at the facts with Rob, but the macro analysis also helps you get zoom out and see the bigger picture, right? And not get too bearish during these times when the charts aren't telling you to be, and especially when you have confluence with things that are going to happen or are happening that are very bullish. So yeah, let's what do you say we dig into this and see what's going on with Solana?
Yeah, so I'm gonna bring a little Halloween spirit into the mood right now. We're gonna go ahead and go into what's your favorite altcoin you want me to chart.
I love it, guys. We like to laugh on this channel, okay? We like to keep it light and fun. We like to have a good time. And for those of you who are new here, we do crypto and cocktails on Friday. Maybe not this Friday because it's Halloween, so I know a lot of you be out doing your thing, but maybe Thursday. We'll bump to Thursday. And Rob, just keeping it real. He's keeping it fun, man. We gotta enjoy this journey together. So that's what I'll say. I like it. I like it a lot. What are you guys dressing up as, by the way? Please let me know in the comments. I love Halloween, and I don't get enough of it here in Spain. It's just way too not American over here. So I miss that holiday so much, and I like seeing Halloween everywhere. So yeah, let me know what you guys are doing and what you're dressing up as. Let's see. I'm going to add your charts to the stage. There we go.
All right, so this is Bitcoin. So this quick Bitcoin update. Nothing's changed. We're looking for that pullback. Nothing really more to go over. I was waiting for that pullback for a good retest entries on alts. Everything's just been day trades or scalps right now. So let's go ahead and go into what our main theme is today is Ethereum. Of course, my alerts start going off on something. All right.
We have like a little like woo-woo kind of stuff, right? We have a witch that's saying buy the dip.
Yeah, I just found that sticker on there, and I just thought it was a pretty good one to go on there to buy the dips. Not even it's like Moses or something. But I just thought it was funny to put it on there. But anyway, so this is a 1 week chart of Solana right here, and this is a very special chart in my opinion in the weekly time frame. As you guys know, on other videos that I mentioned that you typically have a bullish stochastic cross on the weekly time frame twice a year, and right now where we're looking at it, we are. Let me go ahead and get these off right here. This is annoying me. So right now we are underneath the 20. Right now we got most of our move down. It looks like we got our bearish momentum from this area right here. And you look at it right now, Solana has yet to be able to break into its all-time high. We last time when we get into the bear market, we made a nice cup, a nice accumulation pattern down here. And when we broke up, we had a bullish stochastic RSI cross. One time to break the SMA 50 in the weekly time, then one time as we were retesting it. And that was all in this zone right here. I'm going to go ahead and get my drawing utensil out. I should save that one because I never know where it's at. All right, I can't find it. But anyway, so and after that, we had and that's also when we crossed the RSI up above 50, when we had this massive move from about $15, $20, all the way up to $200, and we had our first major pullback on Solana, and this is multi-years, and over the years we haven't been able to break this resistance. So that's basically this resistance here. Every time we butt up against it, the RSI is up over high, and we get rejected. It happened every single time. We got overheated, and we get rejected. Now this is the highest that Solana has ever been with whatever the stock RSI is this low. So this is the highest low that we've ever gotten on this area here with where we're at right now. So that's very, very exciting as long as we hold this SMA 50. And if you would have bought down in these buy the dip areas, you would have bought, since we've been in this bull market, you would have been buying Solana around 100, 120 bucks the whole time and would have been in profits as of right now on this pullback that we're in. So this is just a very powerful tool. And so now looking at that, even in the bear market, if you would have sat there and just used this simple strategy, you say the worst time that you would have bought would have been like right here on this dip right here. It was still a 63% move up in the biggest bear market we ever had in crypto history. And you still had a 63% move up to the upside, plenty enough time to put your stop losses in profit if you put stop losses in like I do. So that's something I want to mention there right there. Just even in the bear market, this signal is very powerful. So what we're looking for is just to kind of bullishly cross over, hold the SMA 50 in the 1 day, and hopefully this time when we cross up, we don't get rejected again from this area, and we basically get to break into a new all-time high, sending SOL into price discovery. And we're kind of in, you could almost call this pattern-wise a nice big cup. Let me make another one. And a handle. So we basically made a giant cup and handle, rounded bottoms, pay the bills, double round the bottom. Yeah, this has a giant pattern on it, which you don't really see these typically on this time frame. Like this is like something like new for me. Like almost I get the trade. It's almost a blessing now that I see it. So with that being said, where can we go price range? If you're buying down and like me, I'm going to be buying as this is going over down in here. I'm buying a dip in SOL right now just because this is just an extremely bullish pattern. And if I get stopped out, whatever, I know the trade becomes kind of invalid if we lose the SMA 50 and bearishly retest it. I get a small loss on it. So the reward to risk for me is great. So let's go ahead and do a measured move. So we break this resistance around here. We are looking at potential $510 Solana with a measured move that TA says. Let's see if that lines up with Fibonacci. So I'm going from high to low over here. So that's above the next Fibonacci level. So anywhere from 403, 510, all the way up to $665 Solana. And those are just those targets right there. There are more that we can go higher, but let's just start off there and not get too ahead of ourselves. But 510 is a good one to kind of look at, to be kind of like hoping for on that. Definitely realistic target. So over with that right there. I'm very excited on Solana. I'm trying to think of
Solana to 500 this cycle potentially, guys. That sounds pretty good to me too. I wasn't planning on, loading any more up on Solana, to be honest. But looking at this pattern and also pairing it with the fact that we just got the Solana staking ETF launched, all those Wall Street guys, they're gonna want yield. So they've got Sol and ETH, which are two of the biggest in the space, or some of the biggest in the space, and all of the community, all of the volume. I mean, this chain is. I want to load up here personally because of that news, and also because of the stable coin with Western Union. I mean, that is like one of the biggest pieces of news I've seen come out of this space in general, right? So this is very, very bullish, guys.
Extremely bullish patterns. Everything is extremely bullish on it from what I'm seeing right now. The only thing that wouldn't be bullish if we lose the SMA 50 and bearishly retest it and confirms downside, which means we might just come back down, make a bigger handle on it, and we'll get a better entry later on, and we'll know that when we get that bullish crossover, and we can sit there and load up then. Pretty simple to me. Or if you're a longer time holder, you just got another chance to buy the dip. Is basically what would happen.
Right.
So next, I'm actually going to go on the ETH. So this is something a little bit history in my trading experience. And I was just looking at ETH, just trying to see if it was any kind of familiar, like in this area right here with the SMA 50, and I was actually in this part of the cycle with ETH right here. I bought ETH right about here. All right. And that was right about here. I didn't even know this. Like, I didn't even know I was buying right here. And that was all along with this right here. I didn't even use high time frames like this. But that's when I bought. When I sold was right here. Next dip, if I would have known about this, I would have bought again right here, down in here. And I would have got a nice giant move. But I didn't buy here. I missed all of that. So I bought Ethereum around $250. I sold around 500, never bought it again.
Wow. I mean, well, you might feel like you missed out, but guys, profits are profits. You can never, ever be upset about taking profits. And this actual like strategy Rob is giving you is gold, right? So it's the 1 week stochastic cross up to be confirmed when, Rob?
It confirms typically whenever it starts crossing over 20, that's whenever like you get the confirm cross. That's like, all right, bullish momentum will be coming in. That's when you're getting your impulse moves. When you're underneath it, kind of going sideways, you could typically on a 1 week time, you only get this chance twice a year typically. So you look at like this one right here. You had it in April 2020 and October 2020. So before that was the year before that, and next one was the year after. So these chances legitimately come twice a year for you. So if you're a person who wants a position trade, this is position trading style, and this is where whenever you get typically your best entries to start building a position for a good couple week to maybe a couple month hold to sit there to start locking in profits. And you're going to be ending up with profits in your thing. So it's very simple. And you just find a moving average, a 50 moving average, maybe a 25 moving average. That's typically holding support for that token. 50 is working really good, it seems like, on the 1 week time frame. That's why I'm not using the 9 on this one here. The 9's for more the 1 day to kind of help nail your entry. So now you can just zoom into the 1 day time frame to help nail your entry. Or if you're using leverage, you want to try getting a leverage play on this one, you can if you're good at zooming in, and we'll be doing that in group, but not online, of course. But this is just an easy way to get you have time right now to position yourself for the next leg up, and potentially maybe we'll have a leg up like this in Solana. That's why I'm showing this right here. And I don't want to be that guy that bought down here, because I did that with Solana as well too. I bought at $20. I sold around $150 to $100.
Right.
And now we might be right here, buying high, selling higher. And that's basically what I'm kind of teaching right here. And you're using the oscillators to help nail that move.
I like that. So this is like very simplified version of trading for those of you who don't want to complicate things, and maybe even macro investing, right? So Rob is talking about the 50 week, having that up as an indicator to judge as support, potentially to 25, I think you said. as well as the stochastic weekly cross up, generally confirming around the 20 level. Okay, so those are some of the key factors to take in mind when you're looking at higher time frames and you're a more long-term investor or you want to make a long-term trade, as this happens only a couple of times per year. And it's a very, very bullish event indeed, as you can see. Yeah, I remember Solana, I bought about 25 bucks and I actually ended up selling because I'm more of a long-term holder, and I definitely was that cycle. I sold around like 220 or something like that, 200. I don't know. But, if you're trading and you're taking profits, if you use that, then you could have potentially got, I like the example you gave, Rob, if you could have gotten back in when it was going to cross back up again and ride it all the way up. Right?
Yep, that's not investing. It's a different type of trading, and that's something we'll be laying out in group. That's called position trading. That's not swing trading. Swing trades typically last 3 days to 14 days max, most time around 7 days or so. But position trades, you're looking to hold for weeks. Long term, you want to hold for years, so that way you get the tax advantages. But
or a year plus at least.
Yeah, a year plus. So that's really macro there. But this isn't so macro to where you're getting the compound gains this way, at least. You're getting, but you're getting to take advantage of some good compound gains, but more in a higher time frame area, to where it kind of takes week. You get basically 1, 2, 3. You get 4 trades a year with this idea. So almost every quarter. So you get a trade here, you get to enter, a trade up here, we get to exit, a trade enter, trade exit. So that's basically what you're kind of looking at, and that's what you can. It just makes it really simple. And if you're short-term trading, it's something you could add on to your position trades as well too. So if you got profits on the sideline, or you just made some profits shorting or longing in your last couple of days, and you start seeing signals like this, that you can add that into some position trades that makes it less stressful.
I like that. Yeah, to set it and forget it. Like, just watch those these large time frame indicators that will just lead you to be able to make these moves. You have to be very patient for that kind of trading. I think a lot of people are too impatient. They feel like they need to be in a trade all the time. But even just capitalizing on big moves like this is like picking up the bags of cash, right? Instead of, the pennies potentially. So I like this strategy as well. I think this is really interesting, and you don't see this that often in the cycle. These sort of crosses up a handful of times a year, guys. So here we are right here looking at it. And I'm going to go back to the comments now. I see Raw Food Writer, you're asking about Cardano ETF. Yeah, so Grayscale had it in one of its funds and was pushing it to be an ETF. But actually, the deadline for the SEC's decision on Cardano was extended and is still pending as of October 2025. So we're still waiting on it. It's been postponed. We don't know why. And let's see, but I definitely think we're going to get it. I mean, I think that is just imminent. So a little bit more patience there, but in my opinion, gives us a little bit more time to accumulate Cardano. Dance Gallop, I see 3 dots here. Are you frustrated? Are you anxious? Explain yourself. Arthur, what's up? Silent Swap. Okay, are you with the Squid Grow guys? Silent Swap is a really cool product. Allows you to have privacy on chain. Partnered with Secret Network, which I'm on the board for. So very interesting. Raw Food Writer, hi guys. Yes, great news on the ETFs, and welcome. Sorry, Graham, welcome to the show, Graham. What's up? Yeah, very, very big news on the HBAR ETF. Big news. I feel my cups of moonshine because Rob said so, says Cam. I like it, but wow. So how are you making your
leverage when you're drinking moonshine? It's a bad idea, just so you know.
Yeah. But we do have fun on the show. We do like to have fun. So that's pretty cool. Seems doable about ADA. Curious about ADA. Basically, only 2 alts I'll entertain besides Bitcoin and, of course, Clash for what life-changing money. Yeah. So Cardano, yeah, I would agree with you. The foundational pillars of the portfolio, ADA is definitely one of mine. So, yeah, we did go over ADA a little bit yesterday. We will do high time frame ADA on another show. But yeah, go ahead and check out yesterday's show if you want to see Cardano stats. Basically, bull run price predictions, or price according to the measured move, right? And potential fibs between $5 to $6, very doable according to that. So John says, if ETH hits 8,000, what's the bear looking like during winter? Is it back to 1K to 1.5K for long 4 years? You want to get your thoughts on that, Rob?
On ETH, I mean, let's go ahead and take a look. Like,
I can give you my thoughts, just like philosophically speaking. I don't think, and Rob will tell you on the chart, so I'm going to tell you about like my macro thoughts on that. I don't think that with all of the ETH ETFs, all the institutional interest in ETH, it being the background of finance in Web3. I don't see it. I don't think it needs to be like the traditional 4-year cycle where we get hit that hard. I don't think we need to have such a deep bear, and not for such a long time, or at least not such a long time. I don't know. I don't feel like it needs to be the same exacerbated conditions as it has been from previous cycles when we didn't have institutional liquidity. But that's just my thoughts. Let's see what the chart says.
So, I mean, a good rule of thumb that I learned from stock traders in bear markets, the best time to buy stuff is usually on the weekly SMA 200. And as we can see, weekly SMA 200 typically, what on it or underneath it is typically your best times to buy, which just looking at this chart here, I can basically kind of agree on it. Here we hit it, went underneath it, bear trap, and then finally took off again. This was our worst one where we went the furthest underneath it, but we did recover it finally. So if you would have been buying here and scaling in and dollar cost averaging in time down in here, which we might talk about in group and how to dollar cost average within time later on with some PDFs on how to do that. But it kind of recovered. I got a bear trap, recovered it, and now we're up way above it. So as of right now, the weekly SMA 200 is at 2,439. So going down to there, and getting a little bit underneath it, getting down to 2,000. Let's go ahead and do a percentage move on it. I mean, crashes are crashes; they can happen, and
Right.
those are at a 43% drop underneath it. So if we did a 43, yeah, I mean, it's possible, definitely. I mean, by the time bear market starts for it, the weekly 200 may be a little bit higher. So let's say it's to 3,000 or something, then you might be looking at 2,000. You know what I mean? So it just depends on where it is whenever it starts and when we get underneath here. And that's just whenever you're in that zone for long term, that is the best time to buy almost any asset.
Right. And the problem is, guys, that nobody ever has cash at that time because people have either round tripped or they haven't taken profits or whatever it may be. Very few people have cash to buy big dips like that. So make that be your goal this cycle, to compound your gains, take your profits, and be able to have liquidity for when those big dips, I want to call them dips, crashes, whatever you want to call them, for when those happen. That is what's really going to make you successful long term, is by learning how to do these basic things that Rob is explaining here. Even if you just look at the higher time frames and base it off that, right? Like, just to have an idea of where we're at. Almaneem, what's up? Hello, welcome to the show. Cam, I keep forgetting you're in California, but man, that's so cool. I will be in California from December. Yeah, so I'm super excited for that. And we got a lot of other plans in the works, which we're going to tell you about as soon as they're confirmed. So very exciting things. Here's a question. Do you think with institutional adoption, ETFs, and regulation, 99% of crypto die besides top 25 to 50 coins and memes? Okay, I have thoughts on this. Rob, you want to give it a stab?
I mean, I'm a trader, so I have no idea on that area. I don't really, I mean, I hear those theories all the time. I think sometimes the worst projects sometimes are the biggest moves, and the best projects kind of stay steady sometimes. I really don't really have thoughts on that. I just trade the charts and I get in and I get out.
Yeah, and I think that's generally a very simple way to look at it, and probably correct over time. But we're only 6% mass adoption right now. We're 600 million holders, more or less. So we're a very small percentage of the world that's dabbling in crypto. I just want to say that for starters. And next is, like, a lot of this space, even though Bitcoin is now being established, Ethereum, Solana, a lot of the space is still very hype driven and cyclical, right? So I don't think that they have to die necessarily. I think that we might have still a lot of hype driven stuff. I mean, we're still a very nascent, early, yet like young market, right? And so there's a lot of volatility that comes with that for many, many years. So what are we like now? How many years old is this industry? Not that old, right? From 2009 when Bitcoin was officially conceived, right? I think that we still get a big run for a lot of the coins, at least throughout a couple more cycles, right? And now normal people can have access to this through Robinhood, through Revolut, which we're going to partner with for ATH vodka, right? Where all the people like download the apps and they're like, oh, what can I buy? What is this? Now all of that is happening. So I think we're going to still get pretty big runs in a lot of them, and we're not even going to understand why until we start to level out and we start to really become very mature as an industry. And even then, it's community driven. If there's a community for it and a big base for it, I don't see why it would have to stop running, right? Because market caps don't equal the amount of money that's in it either. It's really only how much supply is on the market versus how much demand there is for it at that moment. Because if it's got like billions of dollars in market cap, you couldn't cash out billions of dollars of that coin, right? Because the price would tank as you're trying to do it. So that's what I'll say about that. Is they're a little bit nuanced when it comes to coins being able to sustain their life or not. But on that note, I will say I think a lot of them are going to become obsolete. Like they're just not going to have any importance and they will die. And we are seeing that. So I'm focusing on the winners, but I do have that long tail in my portfolio where I do have some moon bags, right? Some things that I think could make a wild run. But I think the mistake that a lot of people are making now is having too much of their portfolio concentrated in that. And so they get hit really, really hard during these dips, and there's nothing to sort of hedge the portfolio. So think about that too, as you're structuring your portfolio to go into this next leg and into the next cycle, right? John, only Doge will be the survivor of the memes. Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it feels like Doge is gonna have like a lasting spot here. We'll see. We'll see. The meme coins. Rob is really good with meme coins. What do you think about meme coins, Rob? What do you think? Is Doge gonna be the only one to succeed?
I mean, define succeed. Everybody knows that they're creating a joke. I mean, I think it's going to be ongoing forever. I think it's a thing now, and I think it's always going to be a thing. And there's always going to be new ones coming out. So, not like thinking about it a little bit on that question. I don't even think some of the true winners are even out yet. So I think there's going to be always new stuff coming out, and always something that's new big. How old is NVIDIA compared to Amazon?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's an AI company. That's pretty new-ish in a way. All the AI stuff going on. There's always be something coming out new. So that's gonna be the same thing for crypto exchanges. They're doing big time investments. If everything's just gonna die, why would these exchanges be making big time investments to grow later on in life? Whenever crypto is just gonna die and only Bitcoin's gonna last, and their whole business is for us to be able to trade on their platforms. If there's nothing to trade, then they wouldn't be creating businesses later on. Right. So, I mean, that's kind of my thought process on it. So, is Doge going to be the one that survives? I think Doge is around forever. I think it's going to be the one that's going to be the top one that people know about, especially with Elon Musk and stuff like that. But there's going to be new memes coming out. There's always new memes coming out. I'm surprised 6-7. If you heard that, I'm surprised that's not a big meme yet. That's something that all the kids are doing if you don't know yet.
Yeah, if you don't, I don't have kids, so I didn't know that. But so see, Rob is here to give us the alpha for many different generations. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought process on it. So I just don't see why there's new exchanges coming out, or like Coinbase. Why are they building this platform? Why would Coinbase be building this platform? Or why would Binance US be coming out? Like their business thrives on us trading on it. If there's nothing to be traded, then why would they be doing this?
Yeah, I would agree with you. They're all thinking long term. I mean, they're all making big moves for the long term. I think this is like a newfound freedom for people, right? And that the more they learn about the space, the more they're going to want to be entrenched, and they're going to want to get to know it and play around with it and get to understand it. I think that I know we're just getting started based on the 6% adoption rate, right? Like I talked to Binance's CMO, the chief marketing officer, Rachel. She was on my podcast, and she was talking about like the massive boom that Binance had this cycle versus last cycle. So we are getting there, but we're not there yet. And Cam, you're asking, when will we see the most revolutionary cycle in terms of our friends and family paying attention in real life? Yeah, it feels far away, but it's probably not that far away, not as far away as we think. So just to give you some context, we're sort of right around the MySpace era of the internet. So we've got some work to do, although this technology adoption curve is much, much faster than the internet. It's the fastest growing tech adoption curve in history. So just because we're at the MySpace phase doesn't mean we need to take as long to get to where we want to go, right? To get to that mass adoption phase. So I don't know. I think by 2030, by the end of the decade, we'll have a pretty decent adoption rate. Mass adoption happens around 16% of the world, right? So we're at 6%. And just that's it. That's where we are, guys. We're still really, really early. I know people are sick of hearing that, but it's true. And I don't want people to be steering away like outside this space just because they think they're late, because they're really not. And so this is more like long-term investment style. Of course, trading you can start at any time. Now is a better time than ever, by the way. And we've got all the resources for you, and we're getting ready for liftoff here, no doubt. The Almanac, wonder when the cycle top will come in. Just want to get over with this. It's been so long and boring. I think that that's the majority of the sentiment of everybody in the market, but I would say that most of them don't trade. I don't know. I think that people who are just holding the altcoins have been really, really disappointed because we haven't seen that 2021 style run, 2017 style run, and it feels like forever because you're waiting for something similar. So yeah, in that regard, I think that a lot of people share that sentiment, but I do think, and I will say it again, patience, patience, patience. Big things are coming. Big things are coming. I'm so positive of that. It's just a matter of when. The infrastructure are massive infrastructure. That's what we haven't had here before. We've just been the crypto cowboys. And don't get me wrong, I love the crypto cowboys, but we're maturing as an industry, and that has some bumps in the roads. But when we do get there, man, yeah, I like your avatar, Lotucker. I don't know your name, but Shrek. Go, 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 go. Let's go, Cam. It'll be the only years, 2030s, easy peasy. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so just 4 or 5 more years, guys, and we're there. That's it. That's my rant there. Also, guys, you got until October 31st, that's Halloween, to get in the Discord. Rob is posting these setups that are popping every single day. I mean, you posted HBAR yesterday, wasn't it?
It was actually this morning while I was sleeping. Let me go.
While you were sleeping, how did you do that? Do you
my alarm went off on my phone. I looked at it, and what I saw was that basically this chart here, and we were about right in this area. We bear trap. I did a scalp on it. I got pretty good profits on leverage. I didn't get to really post a great chart on it. So you basically could have got in right where we're at right now, and you could have took. I closed my leverage trade already up in here, and now it's coming back down and coming into the buy zone area. So I'll be looking for support to hold down here to get a new leverage entry. Personally, HBAR is actually my biggest bag, so I'm pretty loaded up on it. I actually bought it right here on this wick during the liquidation event. So that's the first time I ever bought and held something.
How did you get in right there? Did you have like a low bid in anyway, or did you just happen to get in at that time?
I was actually, my cell phone was dying, and I just got home. And I just remember saying, I'm buying this dip to the group and stuff like that. And my cell phone was about dead. So I had to kick my daughter was using my cell phone charger. So I had to kick her off of it to plug my cell phone. I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, and I'm just waiting to sit there and put buys. I was buying a lot of different tokens whenever everything was dipping down in this area. Whenever those are just like once in a lifetime chances typically. My one buy on it was, I think I sent it to you. My one buy was accidentally leveraged. I can't believe I didn't get liquidated. I had a leverage position like right in here. It went right up to here, and I had like a very extreme gangs on it. But I also got some spot buys down in here as well too. So
amazing. Hey, will you do you have the Discord up there? I want to share the screen because we have some new people on the stream today, guys. We have the Hive trading group that Rob is one of the lead analysts in, and Crypto Gents, some amazing traders. And we are posting setups each and every day as they happen. And they're amazing. We've been getting some bangers lately. Clanker was the most recent one that just got some massive gains. And Rob is simplifying it and teaching you all the tricks you need to know to take advantage of these market conditions that are going to come, because it's going to get so much easier than this. And he's there to mentor you, to help you. We're keeping you posted on the news. I mean, everything. And we have this open to you right now for free. All you have to do is sign up to the Discord in the link below to the Hive, and you're in. And we also have the link for BYDFI, our exchange that we use for leverage trading and spot trading. They are doing a sign-up bonus for 50% on your deposit for $100, and goes up from there. So you will get a massive deposit for signing up for that. And I am going to say we only have 3 more days left of our mega opportunity with iTrust. Now, that is a crypto IRA, meaning retirement. And I don't think enough people think about their future enough. And I know that a lot of us tuning in are 20s, 30s, 40s, some even in the 50s. But now is the time to start thinking about that, because you should pay yourself and you should be free when you're older, regardless of what happens now, right? And so It's $1,000 to fund the account. You can roll it over from your Roth IRA or from your other 401k. You can convert it directly. And when you do so, using the code Megan9 and the link in the description below, you get $100 funding bonus from them. You get $250 from us to trade on BYDFI as showing our support, and also because we want to make this a no-brainer for you. And you get the BYDFI deposit bonus. So, you know, like maybe like 400 to 500 bucks total in this bundle, and you're also setting aside 1,000 for your retirement fund. So guys, you can buy and sell and trade tax-free within the crypto IRA, maximize those gains, and you know, eventually outside of your IRA, I like what Mark Moss said. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to do one episode just on this because I think that like not enough of us have learned about financial literacy, myself included. They didn't teach me that in our expensive university degrees, right? Like they taught us other things, but not about finances. And so technically, since Bitcoin is an asset that's just been going up over time, Mark Moss, one of the most epic voices in this space, I believe, says that, you know, eventually when Bitcoin hits around $1 million, if you have one at that time, which could be by 2030, then you could potentially just borrow against it forever and live off of the money you borrow tax free, right? As the asset continues to appreciate. So there are so many tricks you can do to set yourself up for success in the future. And one of them is just funding that account right now. Don't think about it. Don't just do it. I mean, that's what I would suggest. That's what I'm doing. It's not financial advice, but it's just a thought about how do I position myself to win? You know, we talk a lot about winning on this channel, and winning isn't just in the moment, it's delaying that instant gratification and setting up your future self. So yes, these are the last 3 days. You can take advantage of that by signing up to the link in the description below. And guys, we're ready to rock and roll. Rob is going to post some amazing setups throughout this week, and trading conditions seem like maybe we'll get to buy the dip, the post ETF announcement dip. I mean, I think this is a pretty good opportunity right here. So it's been really interesting to look at SOL and HBAR after those announcements. And I think you have Bitcoin up now.
Actually, it's going down right now. We are actually so we've been waiting for this pullback actually, and I've just been basically doing day trades. But we've been waiting for this. Like I said this yesterday, and like we're waiting for this pullback down to the POV 1 day 9 SMA retest. So we're getting that pullback, and I don't. This isn't a post ETF one, in my opinion. This is actually a dip due to a lot of people before the Fed cuts rates or raise rates or that meeting tomorrow. That's tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Before that, typically a lot of people like go on the sidelines and not really trade too much. So right now, I'm just seeing some. We're seeing some bleeding the market for people who's going to the sidelines to wait for tomorrow and stuff like that, and to respond to whatever the news is tomorrow. So next, we can go into that a little bit. The Fed rate cuts, and this is one of my charts for it right here. Since that's tomorrow, we'll go over this a little bit here. What we have here up here is the S&P, and you can see how whenever the Fed fund rates kind of go flat. We basically have our biggest upturns. We've basically been kind of going flat. We had a little bit of a cut last time, but whenever we have our big market crashes like COVID-19, what was this one, 2008 and stuff like that, is typically when the yields go up. So you got to mix the yields in a little bit with the Fed funds. And I was just looking at it since tomorrow is that day. And which one is my yield one? Not that one. Is it that one? Sorry, I'm trying to find which one's my yield rate. Not that one. So I can expand it so you guys can see it a little bit better here. Like I said, a little bit hard of a chart to make, but it was making a rising wedge here, and we can see it's pointing down the yields on it. Let me get my arrow back on there. It's a little bit challenging of a chart to make. So
yeah, but you don't see these kind of analysis elsewhere. At least I haven't. So I think it's really interesting to pair it with everything that's happening right now.
Yeah, just having everything, you get confluence of different things. And so the yield actually on this trend line is now pointing down and broke underneath it. Let me get that arrow part. Let me make it a little bit longer. So that is a good, if we're having rate cuts and this is going down, in my opinion, that's a good thing, because the thing that I saw in past was Fed cut rates, yields bang to the upside, market crash. That was the one thing that I found in history that has happened. Yield cutting rates, yields break into the upside, market crash. That was the .com bubble. What was this one here? 07, 08, same thing. So we want those yields going. So yields going down, rates going up, market went up. So I'm really paying attention to these yields right now. So we have rate cuts with yields going down. That could be just a very, very positive thing. I'm trying to see if there's any areas with that. This might be like a first time in a long time that's actually happened when Fed funds rates get cut and yields go down. So that might be kind of like a new type of thing that we might be going into. Very, very exciting.
Yeah. Very exciting. I mean, that's the kind of confluence you want. And also, we'll call it a catalyst, right? As this is starting to trend downward here, we got a lot of bullish factors on the horizon. And don't forget about the Clarity Act. That's also set to be, passed potentially within a few months from now. And that's what's being said. So, guys, we have so many different things on the horizon. I'm seeing these dips as opportunities as long as, that structure is maintained. So that's what we're looking at now. And I think we'll be able to get some pretty good setups to buy the dips pretty soon here in Discord. And we're going to be doing some trading competitions coming up soon and so many things. We're going to have a lot of different channels. One of them being Rob's 10x Phoenix group, where he picks out some of the coins that have potential to do 10x's and meme coin callouts. So if you want to be eligible for that, you just sign up to the link in the description below for BYDFI exchange. Okay. And you still get that deposit bonus until October 31st. So we're going to rock and roll in the Hive Discord chat, guys. We're going to have so much fun there and we're going to crush it. Okay, so you better get in there. I want to see you in there. Let us know. Ask Rob questions. Just share your ideas. We're in here. We're in it to win it, basically.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, hop in, ask questions. You have your own ideas, share them. Like that's the whole idea of the community. Share ideas and just if you have charts you like something like that, go ahead and you're more than welcome to share them. I'm not one guy that knows everything. I just come up with ideas and I look for past pattern history and I like to display it to you guys and you make your own decision. So same vice thing. Like this chart here, we're in the fear where we're talking about buying. Now we're kind of in the greed, and that's where I was kind of like, you might want to wait for a little bit and get that little retest on everything. That's what we're kind of some retest on everything. That's kind of what we're looking at right now. We got a little bit greedy, and it's right before the Fed stuff, so we need those indicators to cool down a little bit and get back to kind of neutral possibly to get our next leg up. Oscillators, same thing. Let me go ahead into ETH coming back down, retesting. Let's go into Bitcoin 1 day. That's 1 week. Let's go to 1 day. 1 day is a little bit hot right now, so we're coming back down, just retesting everything. We don't got a confirm cross here, but we're coming back down, retesting. Maybe we'll get a little bit sideways, kind of like over in here. So let me go ahead and close this, make it a little bit smaller. So as we're retesting, we're kind of could be in a situation where we're like over right in here, into this line right here, where we got up in here, and then we didn't have we stayed up in this area for quite a few times before we actually got pivot down. So we can be something like that. And that kind of, if we get a strong leg up with all the bullish catalysts coming out, you can sit there and see how this came up. And then we had the giant move to the upside as a Stosh RSI was up in here. So, and every time we went down low, it was this consolidation. So that's kind of what we're looking for on this kind of move here, is what we're kind of hoping for, as long as we hold the 1 day 9 SMA 200 and stuff like that.
All right, well, good stuff. I can't get the Moses emoji out of my mind. The buy the dip emoji. It could be buy the dip season, guys, right before blast off. That is what we're looking at. We're looking at setups to give you each and every day in the Hive Discord. JD, what's up? Coming in hot. I like it. And things are heating up. So we got to be ready. We've got to be ready. This is SOL on a lower time frame, right? We were looking at the weekly before.
Yep, this is the daily here. Let's go ahead and just delete everything. I don't want to delete it just yet. I want to post it in group.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see here.
So yeah, daily we're testing the 1 day 9. Like I said, we're just ready to. We're trying to get some momentum on the RSI when you get above 50. So yeah, we're just getting that possible final pullback before the next leg up. This is where you get to zoom in and hopefully nail a good entry before we get that bullish cross on the weekly time frame. So I'm going to be setting alerts after today and tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow I might be setting some limit buys tonight. I need to find that area. So I'm hoping I get some limit buys filled. If we get some kind of crazy wicks, because sometimes Fed day, PAL day, you get some good whipsaws. So it might come all the way down here, fill up this order block, and get right back up. So I might just set some limit buys in here for some wicks right around the 1-day SMA 200. Luck.
Which
I mean,
is around 180 right now, right?
what's that?
It's right around 180.
Yeah, it's at 190 right now, and I'm looking for a buy at 175. I might put some orders in. Really, we have a high. How much is 3%? It's not really that high volume, but there's also an order block right down around 150. I'll probably set a limit buy there. I don't think it will get filled, but if it does, as you guys saw the liquidation stuff, how that happens, you never know. There's some kind of weird liquidation thing happens and gets filled. I'll be extremely happy. I've made it. I do a lot of that with spot. I put buys where you'd never think you would get them. I just let them sit there, and I'll come back sometimes and I'll look at it. It's filled and it's already up. It's like there's no way you're gonna catch that by an alert. So that's just one of my trading strategies for buying the dip.
All right. Well, that's the message for the day. It's time to get positioned, maybe put in some buy limit orders like Rob's doing. I know I'll be looking to do that as well. And the train is probably could be just about to leave the station. So get ready and be prepared for it. Join the Discord, the link below, and get your game face on for tomorrow, guys. We're going to see what the Fed does, but very, very high percent chance they will lower the rates by 25 basis points, and we'll be looking good. So it's been an amazing show today. Any last words, Rob, before we send them off onto a wonderful afternoon, evening, wherever they are?
Yeah, patience, and probably not a good idea to trade leverage tomorrow. That's especially if you're newer. Trading leverage on FOMC day is usually gets anybody losses. Everybody typically, no matter what, you're wrong. No matter what way you trade.
Yeah, no, it's very, very volatile. So be careful out there tomorrow, but be ready also. That's the message for today. And guys, it's been another amazing show. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time to report on what's happening with the Fed and all the other updates. So on that note, have a wonderful afternoon, evening, and see you tomorrow.